I am begging you in this video to stop being dictated by what you don't like. Be it old thoughts, be it old feelings, be it a current negative reality. I am begging you here, human to human, to stop letting it run your mind. And the reason why I'm begging that is because where your focus goes, your energy flows, which means when you are dwelling on what doesn't serve you, you are allowing, giving permission for more to come into play. Now, I don't know about you, but I could take a wild guess. But for me personally, I don't want to experience more of what I don't want to experience, which means it's of the utmost priority to stop focusing on what I don't want to experience so I don't keep experiencing it, and to create what I would rather experience in its place. So, with my begging of you today, human to human, I want to get you to a point where your focus is going towards something that you would want your energy flowing. I'm personally happy to roll with the punches. If I have a bad day, that's fine. I'll work through it. If I have a surprise bill or a surprise argument with Katie or something, I'll roll with it because I know myself. I know I can create the best of outcomes. But I would rather not have those things. So I choose not to dwell on any of those things that exist or any potential energy to place towards those things that might create it. I'm happy to roll with it if it comes up after, a bad 20 minutes of thinking, but I'm not going to sit there and dwell on it to create it. I'm not going to give myself permission to let more come. And that's what I urge for you today. Now, I understand that it isn't as easy as just ignore it. There are some things you would want to consider. There are some nuances involved. There's emotions. There's how much it's being brought to your attention by external factors, and so on. So while the title and the beginning preface of this video make it sound like I'm saying, just ignore it, honey, I get that it's deeper than that. And that's what I want to do in today's video. I want to give you some things to consider to help you do this, to help you ignore, to help you move past. Now, that is the first step in this. I want you to change the perspective away from ignoring, which is what I've titled it, which is what everybody says, and understand that it's more choosing not to be dictated by. Your human ego is attached to this 3D reality. Without it, seeing the 3D reality, you'd be dead long time ago because you wouldn't adjust for threats in the way that you should do, thus keeping you out of harm's way. So there is always going to be a part of you that is attached to this 3D reality. So when we say ignore what you're experiencing, from at its bare bones term of ignore what is, that's going to be difficult because of the human ego that is attached to it, and the human ego that will use feelings of worthlessness, if that's what your experience has called up, or feelings of doubt or something like that, to justify how to go forward. So if you can ignore it, do so. There is no point focusing on it whatsoever. Where possible, just ignore. Focus on what you would like to be instead. And I do that myself as well. If I'm expecting an email and I don't get it, whatever, chuck my phone down. I don't care. It's coming. But for those bigger things where just ignoring is more synonymous with putting a lid on a boiling pot of water, causing it to just boil out 10 minutes down the road anyway, I urge you to change your perspective away from ignoring what is onto choosing, because it's a choice. Your consciousness is yours. You can choose what you do with it. Choosing not to allow what is to dictate what you will do going forward. That is the perspective shift that I think just brings that power right back to you. Now, what does that look like? Well, I want you to understand that if the past's thoughts and feelings have created today's reality, then by extension, today's thoughts and feelings will have an effect on the future's reality. Now, we know that circumstances don't matter, and I will, on the end card, put up a more presentation-based video of circumstances don't matter, so you can see it in a little bit more like visual and in depth on that term. But we know circumstances don't matter. We know that our subconscious mind goes off of what we are feeding it, not what is truly the case in the physical reality. So what that means is if you want something to change, you have the power to change it. If you want something to be different going forward, you need to stop now focusing on what has happened or what is happening and focus on what you desire to happen as though it's already happening. So if your past thoughts and feelings have created today's reality, and today's thoughts and feelings will create the future's experience, it stands to reason then that in this moment, you can see what is, if you're not able to just simply ignore it. You can see what is, but look at it for what it truly is. Go the layer deeper. Because what many of you do, and myself included in my journey, is we see what is, but all we're seeing is the creation of something negative. We're not looking deeper to go, this negative came from previous thoughts and feelings of X, Y, Z, which is why it's here now. So if I don't want this thing to continue, then now I need to stop focusing on X, Y, Z, and instead focus on starting the alphabet again, A, B, and C. So understand that. If you can't just ignore it when it is in front of you, then move on to the next step, which is, I see it, it's here, but if I want it to change, which I can make it change, then I internally need to change. In the realm of manifestation, focusing on the problem creates more of the problem. Focusing on the solution already being at play allows the subconscious mind to build the bridge that gets you from problem to problem solved. If you wish whatever it is to leave you or be gone from your reality, then stop focusing on it. Stop feeding it your energy. Stop allowing yourself to be consumed. And I'm saying allowing, and I know some of you might be thinking, you know what, it doesn't feel like I'm allowing, it feels like it's got grip on me. But I'm using the term allowing on purpose to remind you that it's all within your capability. Nothing outside of you is forcing your mind to dwell on anything. You have the capability to change where you are focusing. With some effort, sometimes, breath work, meditation. I'm not naive to say that everyone can just, and their mind has changed. But you are the one allowing your thoughts and your feelings to be dictated by this thing, which means you are also the same one that can allow your mind to focus on what you want instead. So from this moment forward, if you can ignore it, ignore it. If you can just be like, you know what, it is what it is, I don't care, I'm not even focusing on it, great. That's ideal where possible, because that's feeding nothing negative to the subconscious mind. But on those moments where ignoring it would be more like putting a lid on a boiling pot of water and you are just going to explode at a later date, understand this thing, this problem, is only here because of past focus. If I want this problem to dissolve and not follow me into my future, then right now, I need to change what I am focusing on. I need to remove focus from this thing and instead place focus on the end result. You can do this through affirming, visualizing, scripting, sats if it's late at night and you want to go sleep, water in a cup method. I don't care. As long as you are focusing on your desired outcome, you're as good as gold. Now, if you need an additional step to that, Regulate first. If you understand that it is just past, present, and future, if you understand that it is just past creating today and today creates the future, but you still can't let it go, regulate the nervous system. Get yourself into that parasympathetic nervous system state, and then choose to focus on the end result. And what that looks like is calming your body and mind down. Breath work, meditation, EFT tapping, binaural beats, calming music, cold water splashed on your face. Whatever will get your nervous system under control so your ego is quietened is ideal from there. And then you focus on the desired outcome. But you see how in all three of those things, not a single one involves poking at the 3D reality. It involves trying to prove your point to the other person or people, trying to find a solution yourself in a form of chasing, pleading, begging, desperately Googling, and things like that. You have understood that consciousness is the true reality. And what is only ever a result of previous consciousness. Now, if just pure previous consciousness created this negative what is, then that stands to reason, considering that everything has an equal and opposite reaction, that just pure positive consciousness can create a positive experience going forward. So you need not focus on the problem. You need not dwell on what is. You need not doubt the process. You need not invest your time, focus, and energy in what doesn't serve you going forward. Let it all go. Ignore it if possible. If not quite possible, understand that it's just previous thoughts, feelings, and awareness created now. So now's thoughts, feelings, and awareness create the future. So focus on what you want instead through thoughts, feelings, and awareness, the techniques that I mentioned. If that isn't feasible, regulate first. Quieten the ego so it can't keep bringing it up. Open up the subconscious mind's receptivity by regulating, engaging the parasympathetic nervous system, and getting yourself to a level playing field to then affirm, visualize, whatever. And that, no matter which level you do, and each level is acceptable. Don't think because if you've had to regulate that you're a failure and the next person that can just ignore it is better than you. They're all different approaches to getting to the same end. If you do any of those three, you are good as gold. If you do anything outside of those three that I haven't listed that at least gets you focused on the end result, that's fine. If you do anything outside of those three or any additional thing and you end up focusing on the things you don't want to experience, go back and start again with this process that I've just listed. Because if you were able to, let's just say for example purposes, put a blindfold over your head and change every single thought that you had in a day and took zero action whatsoever, your reality would still change like that. Because everything is consciousness and all you're doing is losing yourself in the 3D reality that is nothing more than a mirror that is delayed from consciousness. It has to happen up here before it can happen out there. So what you're looking at, even me right now with this camera, this is old. This is previous consciousness created now. I am basically looking at a physical version of a mirror. I suppose mirrors are physical, but you get the pretense that I'm trying to explain. I am basically looking into the past whenever I engage in this 3D reality. Now, if you didn't like what a mirror was reflecting, do you start trying to do stuff to the mirror? Do you start drawing on the mirror to change it? Do you swap the mirror out for a different thing, despite the fact that it would be the same image reflected back? Do you break the mirror? Do you start pleading with the mirror? No, because you understand that the mirror is just reflecting back what you are showing it. So understand that because this reality is nothing but a mirror of previous thoughts, feelings, and awareness, if you don't like what your mirror is showing, don't piss around with the mirror. Piss around with what you're showing the mirror. which is your consciousness. So from here on out, do one of the 3 components that I had told you, and you will succeed. Ignore what is. Ignore the 3D reality as best you can. And if you can't, then go on to the understanding that today's thoughts will change it anyway, depending on how you guide them. If you can't do that, regulate first and then go on to the end result anyway. From there, you will succeed. Because each one of those things is helping you not be dictated by what is. Because where focus goes, your energy flows. So I urge you, and I'm begging you, human to human, manifestor to manifestor, person who is teaching this because they've had success with it, to someone who wants to have full-blown flowing success, just ignore what you see. Just ignore what you see, trust in the process, and go to the end result. Your subconscious mind will build that bridge. And when you allow the subconscious mind to build that bridge, it happens 10 times better than you could ever have consciously planned, if not more. So I urge you right now to please just ignore what you see, go through life, residing within the end, residing within solutions already being at play, and let your subconscious mind provide you the answers, because that's what it does. Some of our greatest inventors, some of our greatest thinkers relied on the subconscious mind. Nikola Tesla being a prime example. So I hope this video has helped. Like I said, I'm going to put on the end card one of those previous videos where I go into why circumstances themselves don't matter, why you can just ignore the 3D reality and still get a positive outcome. And what I do want to end off on this actually is to say that ignoring the 3D reality isn't burying your hand in the sand, your head in the sand. Because the way that I deem burying your head in the sand is to ignore responsibility and accountability and just hope that it goes away. We're not doing that. What we're doing is understanding that we are accountable because of previous thoughts and feelings and awareness. Understanding that we are responsible because it's our consciousness that creates. But just understanding that the metric to change our reality is consciousness, and thus changing consciousness. If you're going to ignore the reality, but sit there dwelling internally on doubts and fears and things like that, then you are burying your head in the sand, and that's not what I've instructed you to do. What I've instructed you to do is to stop being dictated by what's out there, control what's in here, so that what then presents out there is in alignment with what's in here, thus getting you what you want. So I really hope this video has helped. If you would like tailored advice to your situation specifically, I do have one-to-one services available in the form of emails, videos, video calls, and phone calls. Or if you would like self-study stuff, there are the courses available, self-study worksheets, and so on. Or if you would like both one-to-one help and self-study stuff, all of my exclusive videos, many other bonuses, there is the Academy available, which signing up gets you coaching with me. It gains you access to all of my courses. It gives you access to all the exclusive content, all my products for free, 25% discount on anything else that you could possibly want, and more. So if you know what's good for you, and if you are serious about changing your life using manifestation, then I urge you to sign up for the Academy and get everything you could possibly get to help you succeed. But thank you for being here. Drop me a like and a comment on this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.